Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to another video. 5th of December today, about 1:30 in the afternoon. Come out just until it gets dark, or perhaps just into dark, to fish this tiny little river that you can see over there. It's looking good. It's taken on its usual sort of lower level green tinge, greeny grey tinge that it tends to be. This river never runs clear, no matter how low it gets, it never runs clear. It's always got this sort of greeny tinge to it. It's a tributary of the Avon. It does keep raining on and off, a bit drizzly, so hence the waterproofs. I've got my coat, got this old pair of waders on so I can sit on the floor as well. But yeah, come out to do a bit of chub fishing, really. That's the main plan. I've got with me a bit of mashed bread in there, as you can see. I'm going to go on these tiny little Preston feeders on the ledger. That's the idea. Got some bread on the hook. So all I've bought with me is bread on the hook, bread for the hook. All I've bought with me is some bread and some mashed bread. I'm going to go with my trusty Dower power mesh, 1¼ pound test curve rod. It's 12 foot long. GSBR LT 3000 reel there. So I absolutely love these reels. And yeah, it's going to be a roving session. I'm going to wander about, do a few swims, find some perhaps cover. I should mention this stretch. I've not fished this stretch for, 3 years, I should think. I rotate my tickets around. A couple of tickets I keep every year, and other tickets I rotate around because I like to flit about and do different bits in different years. And I just don't have enough time to do them all in one year. And this is a ticket I've not had for a few seasons, so looking forward to this. I've got a bit of knowledge from a few years ago of what the stretch is like, but I've just come to the first swim. I did think perhaps about putting some mashed bread in, a few swims, and then wandering back up. But I'm quite keen to get started, to be honest. So I think I'm going to put a bit of bait in, perhaps fish each swim for 10 minutes, and then we can come back and concentrate and work our way back up, and concentrate on the ones where we're perhaps getting some knocks or even perhaps caught some fishing. Right, enough waffle. Let's get down here. I've just made this little swim here to fish a raft down here. We'll get down here and have a go. I've not really fished this swim before. Don't ever remember fishing it anyway. And I don't think many other people do either, because it's very, very overgrown. Yeah, looking forward to this. Nice to have gone a new stretch. I think we need to bring that round a bit if I've got enough room to strike. There we go. Yeah, I think tiny little feeders, bread flake on the hook. We'll see if we can winkle out some chub, maybe even some roach. Now these are twin tip rods. I've got the quiver tip section in, as I'm sure you'd imagine. So I'm going to go with these Preston feeders. This one is just an ounce, 30 grams, just over an ounce. Not too much flow in here. Might be a bit of flow further upstream, from what I remember. Now I've got on here my standard running ledger rig that I'll link you to in up there and down in the description below as to how I tie this up. It's much easier to show you properly at home rather than here, which makes it quite adjustable. Just chucked a little bit of mashed bread in here just to hopefully let the fish know there's some grub about. We'll follow it in with a feed. You can probably see there's a raft over there. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to cast quite that far down. But we'll have a go. It's going to be fun in some of these swims, I think. Very tight in here. We'll just swing that as far down as we can. Just let it sink on a slack line. There we go. Hopefully, Mr. Chub's at home and fancies a bit of grub. We'll just have a work through some swims. Perhaps give it 5 or 10 minutes in each swim. I bought my long landing net handle today. So I did remember there's a bit of a drop to some of these swims. Yeah. Too many swims to go out to stick it out in one. We'll get a move on. Probably shan't come back here because we haven't had any kind of indication at all, but you know, we never know. Never say never. Well, as I was saying, it is slowly, further upstream I move, the more the pace is picking up on the water. Only a little bit. It just shallows up gradually as we get upstream. There's a bit of a ford further up. And it just sort of from that, it just slowly gets deeper and deeper. There's a bit more pace on the water here. Perhaps the fish will be a bit more in a mood for a feed. Right. Come on, fishies. Having said that, there's a bit of a deep hole by that tree, it would seem. It was pushing through in front of me, so it must be fairly shallow there. Seems to be a bit deeper where I've cast. 5 or 6 foot, I would say, judging by how long the feeder took to get down. Sort of considering putting a link ledger on and trundling the bread about. Perhaps might be an option, because this just isn't doing anything at the moment. It's literally like there are no fish here. Aye. First bit of interest. Just had a tiny, tiny little pull. You know, I was just thinking, this is a bit of a gamble coming here with this little water on, little amount of water on, and perhaps I should knock it and wait till it's got a bit more water on to come up here. And then we had a merest little knock. I think we'll give it a bit longer yet. I don't think it's fishing, well, clearly it's not fishing very well. I don't think it's fishing very well. It's certainly not fishing very well at all. There we go. How on earth I missed that? I assume you saw that. The tip just went and kept going, and I struck and missed it. I have no idea I missed that. I felt absolutely nothing, which is good. Literally, the tip went and the rod just carried on going. God blimey, how? I literally only just cast it in. Well, clearly there's something down there that's hungry. Yeah, I was just tightening up to it and it just pulled round and stayed round. Come on then. Let's have another bite. How on earth? Hang on, there we go. Here we go. Tap, tap. Certainly got some fish going in here. It's taken about 5 swims, but we got some fish interested. I have absolutely no idea how I missed that bite. Absolutely unmissable bite that I managed to miss. Alright. It's just gone shooting out from under my feet. Right, I think what I'm going to do, just for 5 or 10 minutes, just switch over to a link ledger. Just going to clip a shot on. And just trundle it around to see if perhaps they're after this bait when it's moving. Just sort of, and perhaps manoeuvre it around a little bit better. Hopefully it will sink. Yeah, just about. Right, let's see what we can do with that. Let's manoeuvre it around and let it trundle off downstream and stuff. Look a bit more natural. Wonder if they do want it moving. I wonder if we've been better off bringing the trotting gear today. Aye, aye. Aye, aye. There we go. Well, it's no monster. Well, it's certainly a chub. No, it's trying to get in under my bank. Oh, it's a nice fish actually. Not bad. That'll certainly do. Well, wasn't exactly bouncing around the bread. That's a lovely fish for this river. Fantastic. I'm judging by the fight. I think the fish are perhaps a little bit lethargic, a bit cold maybe. But that'll certainly do. I'll give him a minute. In his breath. Well, there we are. Absolutely like a block of ice, but what a cracking fish. Cracking fish from this river. Wonderful stuff. It's absolutely fantastic. Right. I think perhaps worth give it another 10 minutes. We'll keep him down there. He'll be nice and happy, and if he gets out, he gets out. But we'll just keep him in the net for 5 minutes. Just see if we can winkle another one out. Because so far it's the only swim we've had any interest in. But let's just keep him there. He'll be absolutely fine for 5 minutes. "19 times out of 20 though with these little rivers, certainly this one, it's one fish and you're done. Sometimes if you drop on some fish and they're really having it, you can have 2, 3 or 4 out. But usually one, and that's your lot. I think generally there's possibly only 1 or 2 fish there, and you spook the rest of them anyway when you catch one. You'll probably get their confidence back by sitting here for the next hour and feeding. But Too many more swims to go out to do that. No, not had another indication. I'm not going to flog it. We'll possibly we'll come back and have another go in here. But I am going to let this fella go. So, might be worth coming back, it might not. Back you go, fella. There he goes. Fab. Right, we're off a blank. Right. Let's go and see if we can find some more. Right, a bit of flow there and a bit of slack on the inside. So we'll plop this in. There. Got to be worth 5 minutes. Put a bit of bread in here earlier. I say earlier, about 15 minutes ago. About 20. Bit of a reach down to the water here, but this all looks like foliage and not bank to me, so I'm not going any further. Alright, there's a knock, definitely. And another one, bit of a drop back. Alright, and again. There we go. Doesn't generally take too long when you're going to get a bite. We've got to keep him out of the inside. Looks a decent fish again. Of course, he's desperate to get in under the bank. Come on, out. He's got us in there. I can't go out any further than that. God, there's a big snag down there. Gotta keep him out of that. Let's get him in before he realises quite what's going on. Oh, it's another cracking fish. Cool. Fab. Wonderful. Well, another lovely fish. Wonderful. How's about that? Fantastic. Well, it's coming good. Light levels dropping, probably helping as well, but fantastic. Right, we'll get him back. We'll get moved, I think. I think it's worth hanging about. Well, I figure it's worth 10 minutes in here as we're passing. This is the swim where we caught the first fish. It's got to be worth 10 minutes in here. Clearly fish here. It is, of course, now starting to get dark, although it doesn't look like it on there. It properly is. In fact, as I say, so much so I'm having to put the torch on the tip to see what I'm doing. That's better. Right. Hopefully that chub we had out's got a friend. We can winkle him out. Yeah, I just cannot see that kind of chip at all. There we are. Right, as I say, we'll have 10 minutes in here and then we'll have a move. Perhaps do 1 or 2 more swims. I'm happy with the brace. Be happier with a hat trick. But yeah, I'll be greedy. It's not been easy going. There's no night fishing on here either, so I'm not going to push it. Not massively hopeful, really, you know, after we put that fish back in here, but you know, it was perhaps 2 hours ago now, so it's certainly had a chance to settle down. All right, that's the pull. Slacken off a bit. Just pulled round. Something's definitely curious. Of course it may be smaller fish, as I say, who knows. Nice to find out. Oh, so another cast, nothing came of that, but we might well have been mugged as we're fishing bread. Been a bit cagey in here before, they weren't they? Thinking about it. So perhaps it is a chub. It's just being a bit cautious. I can't imagine it's the same one. I think he'd have learnt his lesson about bread today. All right, there we go. Well, wonderful. Just tipped, just pulled, just moved about half an inch and then just stayed there. Come on, out. Desperate to get into under my feet, of course. I imagine it's the same one. It doesn't look as big as the last one. That's cracking. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I don't think it's as big as the last one. The last one we had out of here, I mean. I don't think so, anyway. No, it looks a bit smaller to me. I've just about got enough light to have a look at him. How's about that? Fantastic. Yeah, a bit smaller than the other one we had out of here, but that's wonderful. Cracking. Right, as before, we'll keep him in the edge here, just for 5. Just if we can perhaps winkle another one out, but I can't imagine we will. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. I hope you saw that bite on the footage. Hopefully you can see the tip. It was a fairly delicate bite for a chub. sort of pulled around about ½ inch, just went round and just stayed there. I just thought that would be me, that's enough. It's enough of an indication. Right, 5 minutes. Just one more swim I fancy trying. Well guys, that's it. Time to go home. Did this one last swim, but nothing doing at all. Not even the merest little nibble. So give it 10 or 15 minutes in here, but absolutely nothing doing. So time to go home. But I have to say, after the first sort of hour and a half we did, I didn't have a bite. I'd have settled for one fish, to be honest. We had 3, so I really can't moan at that. Yeah, I've really enjoyed that, reacquainting myself with this stretch. It's a lovely stretch. I shall be back, definitely. Now, I am, as I mentioned earlier, I think, I am going to get out again tomorrow before this really cold weather hits. I'm not sure exactly what to do yet. I'll have to decide that tomorrow. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling when you get out there. Many thanks to the channel patrons for your fantastic support, and I'll see you all again very soon.